Studies have shown that people who connect their daily actions to a clear sense of purpose demonstrate greater persistence, resilience, and long-term commitment than those focused only on outcomes. Most people are taught to start with a goal. They are told to pick a target, create a plan, and work until they achieve it. While goals are important, they are not powerful enough to carry you through every challenge. Goals can inspire action for a short period of time, but purpose creates endurance. When the excitement disappears and the obstacles arrive, the reason behind the goal becomes more important than the goal itself. Think about how many people begin the year full of energy. They set goals for their health, career, finances, or personal growth. They feel motivated, optimistic, and ready for change. But as weeks pass, difficulties appear. Progress slows down. Results take longer than expected. The initial excitement fades. What separates those who continue from those who quit is rarely talent or intelligence. It is often the strength of their reason. When your focus is only on the destination, every delay feels frustrating. Every setback feels personal. Every obstacle feels like proof that success may never come. But when your focus is connected to a deeper purpose, challenges begin to look different. They are no longer signs that you should stop. They become part of the journey towards something meaningful. A goal answers the question, what do I want? A reason answers the question, why does it matter? The second question is far more powerful. The answer to that question creates emotional fuel. It gives direction to your effort. It reminds you why the struggle is worth it. Many people know what they want. They want success, freedom, confidence, financial security, recognition, or achievement. But very few spend enough time understanding why they want those things. Without that deeper understanding, motivation becomes fragile. It rises and falls based on circumstances. One difficult day can destroy weeks of commitment. Purpose creates stability. It remains present when emotions change. It remains present when conditions become difficult. It remains present when nobody is watching, applauding, or encouraging you. Purpose keeps moving forward because it is connected to something larger than temporary feelings. Imagine two people running the same race. One runs because they want a trophy. The other runs because they want to prove to themselves that they can overcome limitations that once controlled their life. Both may begin with equal energy, but when exhaustion arrives, the second person possesses a deeper source of strength. Their effort is connected to identity, growth, and meaning. Success is rarely built during moments of inspiration. It is built during ordinary days when progress feels invisible. It is built when discipline replaces excitement. It is built when commitment becomes stronger than convenience. In those moments, your reason becomes your greatest asset. The most successful individuals are not necessarily obsessed with goals. They are obsessed with purpose. They understand that goals can change, evolve, and expand. But the reason behind those goals remains constant. Their purpose becomes a compass that guides every decision and every action. If you want to build an unstoppable success mindset, stop asking only what you want to achieve. Start asking why it matters. Discover the deeper mission behind your ambition. Find the cause that makes sacrifice meaningful. Find the reason that gives value to every challenge. Find the purpose that remains standing when motivation disappears. Find the belief that transforms effort into commitment and transforms commitment into relentless action. Research consistently shows that high achievers are not separated by the number of failures they experience, but by how quickly they learn, adapt, and respond after setbacks. Failure has been misunderstood for generations. Most people see it as a verdict. They see it as evidence that they are not talented enough, smart enough, capable enough, or deserving enough to succeed. The moment something does not go according to plan, they begin questioning themselves instead of questioning the process. They treat failure as an identity rather than an event, and that single mistake changes the direction of their future. The truth is that failure is not a final destination. It is information. It is feedback. It is data that reveals what worked, what did not work, and what needs to change. Every setback carries a lesson, but only for those willing to look beyond the disappointment and search for understanding. Think about the first time a child learns to walk. They fall repeatedly, they lose balance, they struggle to coordinate movement. Yet nobody looks at a child falling and concludes they are incapable of walking. Everyone understands that falling is part of learning. Somewhere along the way, however, adults begin treating failure differently. They expect immediate success. They believe mistakes should be avoided at all costs. They become afraid of looking imperfect. This fear creates hesitation. Hesitation creates inaction. Inaction creates regret. Many dreams never fail because they were impossible. They fail because people stopped moving after encountering resistance. The most successful people in any field understand a powerful principle. Every outcome contains feedback. If the outcome is positive, it confirms that certain actions are working. If the outcome is negative, it reveals where improvement is needed. Both outcomes provide value. Both outcomes move you forward when interpreted correctly. Imagine an entrepreneur launching a business that struggles to attract customers. A person with a fixed mindset may view the situation as proof that they are not meant for business. They become discouraged and give up. Another person looks at the same situation and asks different questions. What can be improved? What can be learned? What assumptions were incorrect? What skills need development? One person sees failure, the other sees instruction. The difference between those two perspectives often determines the difference between quitting and succeeding. Every challenge contains hidden information. Rejection teaches resilience. Mistakes reveal weaknesses. Obstacles expose blind spots. Disappointment strengthens emotional endurance. Setbacks uncover areas that require growth. Without these experiences, improvement remains limited because growth depends on awareness. Many people want success without correction. They want achievement without adjustment. They want results without learning. But mastery is built through refinement. Every expert was once a beginner making mistakes. Every leader was once inexperienced. Every accomplished individual has a collection of failures that helped shape their wisdom. When you redefine failure as feedback, fear begins to lose its power. You stop seeing mistakes as threats to your identity. You stop allowing setbacks to determine your confidence. Instead, you begin viewing every experience as a lesson that contributes to your development. This mindset creates freedom. Freedom to take risks, freedom to try new approaches, freedom to step outside comfort zones, freedom to pursue ambitious goals without being controlled by the possibility of failure. Growth is rarely comfortable. Learning is rarely effortless. Progress often arrives disguised as difficulty. The moments that challenge you most frequently teach you the lessons that matter most. Every setback contains information that can sharpen your strategy, strengthen your character, and deepen your understanding. The question is never whether failure will appear. The question is whether you will allow it to define you or develop you. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not those who avoid mistakes. They are the ones who listen to the lessons hidden inside every setback, make adjustments, gain wisdom, strengthen their resolve, and continue moving forward with greater clarity, greater experience, and greater determination. Studies in performance psychology have found that repeated action and disciplined habits strengthen self-belief more effectively than waiting for motivation, inspiration, or confidence to appear first. One of the biggest misconceptions about success is the belief that confidence comes before action. Many people spend years waiting to feel ready. They wait for certainty. They wait for courage. They wait for the perfect moment when fear disappears and confidence finally arrives. But that moment rarely comes. Confidence is not the starting point of success. It is the result of consistent action repeated over time. Look at any accomplished person and you may assume they began with extraordinary self-belief. You see their achievements, their presence, and their certainty. What you do not see are the countless moments when they doubted themselves, felt unprepared, and questioned their abilities. The difference is that they moved forward anyway. They did not wait for confidence to lead them. They allowed action to create confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust. Every time you complete a task despite not feeling motivated, you strengthen your character. Every time you show up when it would be easier to quit, you reinforce the belief that you can depend on yourself. Confidence grows from evidence. The strongest evidence comes from consistent behavior. Consistency creates a different kind of power. It removes the need to negotiate with yourself every day. Instead of asking whether you feel like doing the work, you simply do it because it has become part of who you are. Your identity becomes connected to the habit rather than the outcome. Think about the person who writes one page every day. At first, the progress seems insignificant. The effort appears small. Yet over time, those pages become chapters, those chapters become a manuscript, and that manuscript becomes a completed book. The achievement was not created by one extraordinary effort. It was created by ordinary actions repeated consistently. The same principle applies to every area of life. Great relationships are built through consistent attention. Strong careers are built through consistent improvement. Financial stability is built through consistent decisions. Personal growth is built through consistent learning. Confidence follows this same pattern. It is not something you discover, it is something you earn. You earn it by proving to yourself that you can continue when challenges arise. You earn it by demonstrating reliability through your actions. You earn it by showing up repeatedly, regardless of circumstances. When you stop waiting to feel confident and start focusing on becoming consistent, something powerful begins to happen. Your trust in yourself grows stronger. Your discipline becomes more dependable. Your actions become more aligned with your goals. What once felt difficult starts feeling natural. What once felt impossible starts feeling achievable. What once felt intimidating begins to feel familiar because every day of consistent effort becomes another piece of evidence that you are capable of more than you once believed. Research on long-term achievement consistently shows that lasting success is more closely connected to personal growth, discipline, and character development than to talent, intelligence, or favorable circumstances alone. Most people focus their attention on what they want to have. They want greater success, more opportunities, stronger relationships, financial freedom, recognition, influence, and achievement. They spend countless hours thinking about future results and imagining what life will look like once those goals are accomplished. Yet very few people spend enough time thinking about who they must become in order to create those results. This is where many dreams begin to struggle. People become obsessed with outcomes while ignoring identity. They chase success without developing the qualities required to sustain it. They want the rewards without embracing the transformation that produces those rewards. But success is not something that magically appears in a person's life. It is often the natural consequence of becoming the kind of person capable of creating and maintaining it.